Hi, boys and girls. We're back to Zapato Power. Okay, so far we've read chapters 1 all the way to chapter 4. We learned that this is Freddie. He has superpowers in his shoes, but sometimes he wants to turn the powers off so that he can play with his friends and not be a cheater, right? And last time he went into Mr. Vaslov's tool shed, but he was not there. He did see a purple wristband in the tool shed. Let's see what happens now in chapter 5. The purple wristband. The purple wristband had a flashing white light in the middle of a clear button. My on-off switch. I couldn't wait to try it. But where was Mr. Vaslov? It didn't feel quite right to be snooping around his tool shed, the place where he invented my super shoes. But Mr. Vaslov's tool shed didn't seem quite right either. Stuff was blinking, beeping, and talking. 2 computers had little white letters running across the screen. Some kind of radio made noise every couple of seconds, and a little TV set on a top shelf was playing a news show. My mom always makes me turn everything off before I leave 29G, unless we're planning to come right back. She also makes me eat my food before I leave the house. There was an uneaten peanut butter sandwich with a glass of milk on the table. Mr. Vaslov had to be coming back soon. About 10 minutes went by, but Mr. Vaslov still didn't show up. It was hard to stay, and it was hard to leave. What about the purple wristband? Could I try it on? If Mr. Vaslov didn't yell at Geo for breaking Mrs. Tran's window, he probably wouldn't yell at me for trying on the wristband. After all, he was making it for me. I looked through the doorway one more time to make sure he wasn't coming. Then I picked up the wristband. I put it on my right arm. It was just the right size. And I loved the little flashing light. It looked like a radio bracelet a spaceman might wear. Why didn't Mr. Vaslov come back? Should I try to find him? I left the tool shed still wearing the purple wristband. It was just too great to take off my arm. My eyes stayed on the flashing light beneath the clear button. What would happen if I pressed it? It hummed under my finger. Then I felt a tingling in my feet, just like when my purple zapatos are itching for a rocket race. But something was different about it. What? The second I moved, I figured out why. Boing! I wasn't running. Boing! I was jumping. The wristband gave me a new power. Boing! I shot up into the air, floated for a second or two, and then came down. It was almost like flying. Boing, boing, boing. I jumped over the green dumpster for recycling. Boing, boing, boing. Each time I hit the ground, white smoke gushed out of my heels. How high could I go? Boing, boing, boing. I jumped beside a big oak tree and reached for a big fat branch. It was easy to take hold and climbed right in. The branches above me were like a ladder. I decided to climb higher to see if I could find Mr. Vaslov from above. In no time, I was way above the ground. able to see all over Starwood Park. Mr. Vaslov wasn't watering flowers. So here he is. Here's Freddie. He has his purple wristband on, and he discovered he now has a new power. He can also jump super high. How exciting. Near the front entrance sign or sweeping up any of the sidewalks. I didn't see him coming out of any of the apartment doors either. But I did see Gio's blue and white beach ball. It bounced off the roof of a new building on the edge of Starwood Park. That building was just finished and didn't have people moved in yet. Where was Gio's ball going way over there? Okay, the next chapter will be Are You Stuck? Let's go ahead and read that. As I watched Gio's ball bounce off the roof of the new building and fall to the ground, my tree shook in the wind. It jiggled my brain and I figured something out. The wind must have taken Gio's beach ball. They get blown around just like kites. I had solved the mystery of Gio's missing ball. But I had another problem. How was I going to get down from the tree? The green ground straight below me looked so far away and so hard. I squeezed the trunk tighter and tighter. My body felt like someone had poured glue all over it. I learned something new. It is easier to climb up a tree than down it. The sun dropped lower in the sky. Mom would come home from work soon. When she didn't see me at the table doing my homework, she would start calling my name all over Starwood Park. The whole neighborhood would hear her hollering when she found me clinging to a tree with both arms and legs. This was not my day to be a brave superhero. What are you doing up there? Gio called. Gio found me before my mother did. It didn't cheer me up. Gio was in kindergarten. What if he told his friends about this? Ruff, ruff. Puppy was with him. The dog wanted to know why I was in the tree too. Gio and Puppy looked so small way down below at the bottom. Now I knew why cats got stuck in trees. Would they have to call the fire department for me? Would I be on the TV news? What are you doing up there? Gio repeated. I had to come up with something fast, a reason that would make me sound smart instead of like a meowing cat. Looking for Mr. Vaslov. Have you seen him? I shouted. Gio shook his head. Puppy barked, ruff, ruff. Where was Mr. Vaslov? He had a ladder. I'd seen him use it lots of times. I wished he was around to help me down. Are you stuck? Gio called up. How could I tell the truth? What kind of superhero gets stuck in a tree like a cat? I'll help you, Gio said, climbing into the tree. Puppy barked, ruff, ruff. Superheroes shouldn't be rescued by kindergartners. I looked down at Gio, climbing one branch after another. What if he got scared when he got this high up too? Then we'd both be crying like cats in the tree. I had no choice. I moved my foot down a little and found the branch below me. The tree was just like a ladder. I could go down the same way I went up, one branch at a time. Come on, Gio stopped climbing and started cheering for me. You can do it, Freddie. I know you can. And I did, just in time for my mother to start calling, Freddie, Where are you? It's time for dinner. Gio grabbed my hand and we walked back to 29G with Puppy at our heels. Ruff, ruff. For dinner, Mom and I had tamales, the microwave kind. Sorry, Freddie, Mom apologized. There's no time after work to cook like Abuela did. Her tamales were good, I agreed, but these are just fine. No, no, Mom shook her head, wiggling her gold hoop earrings. No box is as good as Abuela's cooking. On Sundays, Abuela made all my favorites like pupusas stuffed with cheese, refried beans, and yuca. I miss arroz con leche, rice pudding, the most because the kind that comes in plastic cups doesn't taste as good. Abuela died 6 months after my soldier dad. It was really hard to have two funerals in 1 year. That was before we moved to Starwood Park, before my mom learned how to smile again. How about a popsicle for dessert? Mom asked, getting up from the table. On weeknights, all our food comes from the freezer or the delivery man. Sure, I said. Do you have red ones? We ate our popsicles on the front step. It was a nice night with lots of stars. How much homework do you have? Mom asked. Not much. I took another lick of my popsicle. How much is not much? Mom raised her eyebrows. She was serious about school. Her plan was to save all her money and send me to college one day. Before I could say I only had a few math problems and some social studies reading, Mom's cell phone jingled with music. Hola! She put her finger on the other ear so she could hear better. Hello? You want to speak to who? Freddie? Who is it? I asked, gulping down my last bite of popsicle. Mr. Vaslov, Mom said. Her voice sounded puzzled. He said your name and then the phone went dead. Okay, we'll stop right here.